Hello, my name is Matt Keplinger, and I am a recent graduate of devCodeCamp's Full Stack Developer course. Today I'm here to show you my Capstone project, my Garage Assistant. My Garage Assistant is a MySQL database using Django APIs on a React.js, HTML, Bootstrap, CSS front end. I came up with the idea for this project because I have 4 vehicles and I'm a recreational racer. I love to go to track days. I love to go to the drag strip. I love to just have cool cars. I have a hard time keeping up with the maintenance on these vehicles. It's hard to remember which one needs an oil change and when, and as you can imagine, with 4 vehicles, it's not easy to drive them down to the local service station and get a service done. So I came up with a simple solution. I wanted a tool that would allow me to track the basic maintenance of my vehicles and when I did it so that I could log in, see what I had going on, and determine what actions I needed to take with the money I had available to me. Any other user can start their experience through My Garage Assistant by registering for their account. For the sake of time, convenience, and thoroughness of data, I have already created an account. So we're going to go ahead and log in. When the user logs in, their dashboard will initially be blank, and they will have to add a vehicle to their garage. The year, make, model, color, license plate, mileage, and VIN are all required fields to populate for a vehicle. In the garage dashboard, though, a thumbnail of the vehicle is populated, all their information, as well as a services required badge. The services required badge looks at the vehicle service history and determines if its mileage and the mileage interval warrant the need for a service. Services can be added by a user via the Vehicle Services tab and the Add Service to List function. The service type, cost, parts used, and interval are all required fields to create a service. This allows a guy like me a lot of flexibility. I can put in a part number. Say I have a non-standard part. It's not the one that shows up at the auto parts store, but I know it works. This is the place for me to put in that part number so that I don't have to look it up again in the future. So going back to the services, you can see that I've already populated quite a few services here with costs, intervals, and parts used. And I kept my terms very generic so that you could see the value of the application and not get logged down in the data. So moving back to my garage, we're going to look at the vehicle details page. On the vehicle details page, an image of the vehicle is populated using the Cloudinary API and Cloudinary image tool. The VIN, the mileage, the color, and the maintenance cost to date are all populated as well. Moving down, there's a service history. The service history shows the service, when it was done, both date and mileage, the recommended interval, and the estimated cost. Moving beyond that is the services required. The services required shows a service that is outside of a tolerance based off of the mileage interval. And below that is the add service record, and I kept all of this on the vehicle details page because it allows the user a one-stop shop to address their vehicle needs. So as you can see, the maintenance cost is currently $1,300, and we're going to add a fuel system cleaning performed at 40,000 miles. And we're going to say that this had taken place a while ago. So I'm going to go back a year in July of 2020. One of the issues I ran into was getting my state components and getting my components to update accordingly. So I'm going to go back to the garage and I'm going to go back in. And as you can see, under services required, it says now I need a fuel system cleaning. I found an old receipt and I haven't found one that is newer than that. So this is my last fuel system cleaning that I had on the books. When we go back into the vehicle details page, my cost is updated, as well as my service record. At this point, we'll go back to the garage, and what I really want to talk about is some of the issues I ran into. I had to create a custom model view set between a junction table and my services table so that I could populate the information I needed in a way that I could use it. My database allowed one user to have one or many vehicles with one or many services on the vehicle from a pre-populated service table. As any vehicle won't just have one oil change, for example, I ran into the issue that once I used the service, I was having database problems. So the view set allowed me to pull the oil change data with my junction table and specify that multiple oil changes across the life of the vehicle were necessary. In future implementations of this project, I would like to expand on that logic and maybe do some predictive maintenance. I'd also like to use data analytics and some charts and models to display total cost of ownership of the vehicles on kind of a heads-up comparison, as well as which vehicles are requiring the most frequent kind of services. If I know that I have a vehicle that needs oil changes a lot inside of the recommended service interval, that may be an indicator that I have another problem. Other future implementations would include a VIN lookup for the API, or a VIN lookup API, to determine if the vehicle had recalls needed. This is information that isn't really shared to end users until it's too late, and it'd be nice to know when I logged in on vehicle details if it said you have a recall. You need to get this vehicle serviced. I'd also like to add an API on the Add Vehicle screen so that the user could copy and paste their VIN number in, and it would populate all the pertinent data because all that data is stored within the VIN. It's a decoding API for VINs. At this point, this concludes my presentation. Thank you for your time and your consideration. Have a great day.